All right, hello everybody. Welcome to coronavirus update number 18 or 19. Not 100% sure on that. It is approximately 7:40 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. So this is going to be coronavirus update number 18. And yeah, so we've got a couple of things to talk about today. Some things about some non-essential retail that I would like to discuss. And yeah. Hello there, iBouncer, Dev X Elevators of Illinois. How are you? Hello, Dylan D. Jesus. Yeah, just I wanted to see something, make sure no one else is on live. That's for certain. Hi, I love elevators. How are you? So yeah. Okay, good. So yeah, some very exciting news, and this is in regards to New Jersey. Effective Monday, May 18th at 6 a.m., non-essential retail will allow to be opened, but only for curbside pickup, which and online orders, which honestly just makes sense um, to me. So yeah, so yeah. Um, hey, Garden State Elevators, how are you? Hello, I love elevators. Oh, nice. And Mask One today. Yes, Lord and Taylor is closing at the Freehold Raceway Mall. Yeah, no, those liquidation sales are literally going to begin when the stores get the directive to reopen. But I would imagine that now Lord and Taylor is going to start doing some curbside pickup, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks we can start to see the stores fully open. But yeah, they're literally going to go right into liquidation when they do so. Now I don't know what's going to happen yet with Nordstrom's at Freehold. Like I said, if anybody wants to link to sign the petition to save the Nordstrom store at the Freehold Raceway Mall in Freehold, New Jersey, again, please let me know in the chat, and I will gladly give you a link to that petition. Unfortunately, the petition has slowed down a little bit to save the Nordstrom store at Freehold. Let me see. Yeah, it's been up for almost a week now, and the petition has received about 11,000 over 11,500 signatures, which is very nice, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that there can be some way to have some kind of farewell with all these people. I think the Nordstrom corporation should really consider having liquidation sales just at this particular location. I mean, especially with the mounting support, I think there is enough support where they can open up the doors again once coronavirus restrictions are lifted. But the good news is regarding retail, at least some people can get back to work, and they can just pretty much fulfill online orders and give and bring out the items to the customers coming up to the stores for curbside pickup, which is nice. But I think that's a great step in the first direction. So that is smart. And I think we give it another 2 to 3 weeks and we can see retail starting to open up again. But like I said, it's going to be limited hours. Face masks are going to be required in almost all stores, and practice social distancing. So I'll give stores a little bit to open up as a whole, and then I'll make my decision on my next mall trip. Hopefully, but I don't know. I mean, I hope the petition is enough to save the Nordstrom store at least for the liquidation sales. But again, there's a lot of factors that come into play with that, unfortunately. But hopefully, there'll be enough support where the Nordstrom's company will just open up the store again for liquidation sales, which would be smart at this point. I know that they want to try and fulfill orders until August or June, but they really should consider opening up the store. That way, at least people have a chance to say goodbye. Even, like I said, I think the petition should at least tell people or tell the Nordstrom's family, I get it, it's capitalism, but okay, people clearly care about this store. Let's give them the chance to say goodbye to the fellow coworkers and employees that have been at this store from the very beginning. It gives the customers a chance to say goodbye to the employees and wish them the best of luck transferring to another Nordstrom store or finding a new job. I think that's the goal of this petition. I mean, it would be great to see the store opened up, but I think if there's enough support, I think Nordstrom's will be able to reopen up the store, probably for a very, very small liquidation sale. But again, it's I don't know. It's an I don't know territory, unfortunately, right now. Hey Matt, how are you, man? Yeah, I don't know when they're going to reopen up the stores, but again, they're probably just going to wait for that. So yeah. Oh, my last final was nice. It was a quick elevator pitch speech, and it went pretty well. Thank you, though. But yeah, I'm officially done with college at this point. This my semester ends at 11 p.m. tonight, and I'm pretty much done at this point. I don't have anything else to hand in. I go right into my first summer session starting next week. Actually, when my summer session begins, non-essential retail will be opened up for curbside pickup. So, but it's nice to finally see some things starting to open up again, which is nice. So hopefully, slowly. I think the curbside pickup it's a great place to start, and let's give it another 2 to 3 weeks, and we can start to see stores opening up again. But I think they're taking it at a very smart approach with the curbside pickup. I think it's a smart way. I'm sure the number of cases and the number of deaths will continue to trend downward, and then we can eventually get to the opening. I think that's a very smart approach that is done. Let's not go right away in. Let's do something smaller so that at least people have a chance to get back to work. And also, too, this also gives a chance for the businesses to reimagine their businesses and try to have them ready to go whenever the government in each state is ready to lift non-essential retail restrictions of people entering into stores. Yes, because Macy's at Freehold is a better performing store than Brunswick Square. I know it might not seem like that right now, but it is a better performing store than Brunswick Square and Monmouth Mall combined. LL Bean is a good store at Freehold Raceway Mall. Yes, it is. Yeah, we have an LL Bean at Paramus Park. It's a one-floor one. It's not one of those two. It's not the two-floor one that went in the former Borders, but it gets the job done. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's going to be a phased reopening for Las Vegas. Because it's all through the Nevada state government. I don't really know their government there. Unfortunately, I know that there's a interesting show that's out there in August, but I don't even know if that's going to happen at this point now. They're saying it's still on, but a lot can happen between now and then. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't think the graphs have changed recently. So like I said, I'm not really going to waste a lot of time going over it. It's unfortunately it is the same data as yesterday. So yeah. The number of cases will go up when the stores start to reopen. I agree. I mean, I think like I said, if it's done the way that New Jersey did it, I think it's going to be done smartly. And I don't think it's going to go up, but I think it's a good place to start because they don't want to pull a Georgia and just open the stores right away. Let's start off with curbside pickup and on fulfilling online orders and calling into the physical locations, and then eventually slowly ease into reopening up the stores and going there knowing that you're going to be safe there. So, but yeah, I mean it's I think it's the best way to do it. So that's pretty much it. Hello, Mohammed Sonic Boom. How are you? What else? What else? What else we got? Yeah, I took a really nice walk today. I feel so good. I got out today. The weather was absolutely beautiful. I don't know if anybody went out today. The weather was just phenomenal here. It was so nice, and it was just nice to take in the sun. And I'm gonna sleep so well. So yeah. Well, yeah, that's with any restaurants. Yeah, restaurants are like phase three. So yeah. Yeah, probably. That's probably it. Yeah, I mean, any food you have to go. It's all kind of curbside pickup. It's you go to the establishment and you get the food. But yeah, a lot of the casual restaurants I think around here close at like 8 or 10. I think it really depends on the establishment you choose to eat at. It depends on what you choose to eat. So it depends on what their specific hours are. Yeah, it was beautiful today. The weather. I know the virus is hard. Look, no one said this was going to be easy. It was uncharted territory. I mean, it's just incredible to look back now. Like at the end of my semester, this unfolded halfway through my semester. And then they told us, you can come back the 15th and the 16th to go claim the stuff that you need. And then all of a sudden, 4 days later, my college on a Friday announces that, yeah, we're not opening up until fall. And believe it or not, a lot of universities in the state of California have just announced that they will be doing all online classes. I believe yesterday they made the announcement, all online classes for now the fall semester. So summer semester, everybody knows that's online. That's literally a no-brainer. The college that I'm going to, a community college, actually is a COVID-19 testing site. So yeah, all the summer sessions are literally online, which is great. Um, but in regards to the fall, I don't know what's going to happen with the East Coast. I would hate to see what's happening with what's happening on the West Coast right now happen to the East Coast. But if it does prevent a second wave of the coronavirus, then I think it is worth the risk to be taken. And I do hate to say that for any of the incoming freshmen who are about to start their college, but I think if that's what responsible actions have to be taken, then I think it's worth it to stay and keep learning online to prevent the spread of a second wave of the coronavirus, which is a smart move. But I don't know if that's going to happen here of what's happening in California. I think California thinks a little bit too ahead. It's smart, but I don't know. You know, I wonder if Top Golf or something like that will open a Freehold Raceway Mall like they did at Monmouth Mall near Planet Fitness. I don't know. And actually, I just read something. Round one got rejected at Sears at Freehold, so Dave and Buster's is definitely in the cards now if they ever want one. There's plenty of space to do it in. You got a bunch of vacant anchors. You got the former first level of Sears, the hopefully not soon to be vacant Nordstrom's, and the Lord and Taylor. Hey Scott, how are you, man? Yeah, I mean, the last time I was at FDU was Monday, March 16th, 2020. That was the last time I was back there, and I haven't been back since. I'm going back tomorrow to go get the rest of my stuff. But I mean, it's just incredibly sad. Yeah, yesterday I shipped my books back, and they're pretty much back in. They're pretty much back in the store now, which is great. So I'm glad they're all back. Yes, Macy's will reopen in Freehold, definitely. Well, there is a Dave and Buster's with an elevator already. Willowbrook has an elevator because it was built on top of a Sears store. What's another Dave and Buster's? Yeah, I think that's the only one. Westfield Sunrise also got one, but I don't know. No, community college. I don't qualify for summer classes through FDU. Also, it is expensive as hell to take summer classes. And honestly, if they're going to be online, I'd rather save money and do it at a community college that's much closer to where I live. So yeah. Really, New York's last day of school was March 12th? You mean the last time you were in the building. I was about to say. Yeah, I could very well see like school ending around here, maybe a little bit earlier than expected. That would be really sad though. But yeah, Roosevelt Field and Meadowbrook State Parkway. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know why, but you know, I mean, we're pretty much at the end. I mean, it's maybe another 2 to 3 weeks, and then I could really see things getting back to normal. But like I said, it all depends on what happens and stuff. Also, I drew. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't have any plans to go to Roosevelt Field unless something major is closing. I'm gonna try and go to like when this is like over, my first destination is gonna be Smith Haven, then Macy's and Comac, and possibly Walt Women's Shops. That all depends on how everything kind of is. And I just, I gotta watch hours of certain stores and keep track record to make a plan so that at least I can get to every place that I want to get to. So yeah. Ever come across a keyed off Otis elevator and what fixtures? No, I have not. But then my last day of school before the virus. My last day of school, like college wise, was March. My last day of classes in the actual physical facility was like a Friday, March 7th, and my last class was a music class, and now yeah, and after that I got that was my last breakfast ever at that school. Yeah, no, I'm not going back. Very boring place to be. I've read the reviews, terrible. People go home on weekends. There's not really much to do there, so it's okay. They should put a Boscov Century 21 in Prime Market Sunrise. Scott, to tell you the truth, I think Westfield Sunrise is the next dead mall at this point. I mean, Sears is hanging on by a thread. Macy's could very well be there for I don't know how long. I mean, I don't know. Is Westfield willing to invest in the property, or do they want to shift their focus to a much profitable mall, which is the Westfield South Shore Mall and Westfield World Trade Center? It's kind of like what's going to happen with Livingston. The question comes down to: does Simon really want to hold on to Livingston, or are they going to want to invest in a mall that they're about to acquire from Taubman, which is the mall at Short Hills, a much more profitable mall, higher profitable anchors? It's going to, and I hate to say that, but I do think Simon in the near future, not going to make any certain announcements yet. I think they're going to very well give up Livingston, because Sears is gone. Sears left Saturday, April 11th, 2020. Lord and Taylor is on their way out this summer. Macy's, a lot of stuff just got stolen from that store, and who the hell knows if they're going to last by the end of this year? I don't know. It's like unknown charted territory, and when all those three anchors close, it's really going to affect the mall. I mean, thank goodness I was able to make a trip there right before my spring break, and I actually had the chance of going to see the entire Livingston Mall before all this went down, which was nice. I don't think it will. I think at this point, Sears is just waiting for the appropriate time to pull the plug, and I think they want this whole thing to pass, and I think they're just going to wait until release the next round of store closures. I mean, it's still very unfortunate I couldn't get to Smith Haven and Kmart at Penn Station, but with New York becoming a coronavirus hotspot, it just wasn't worth the risk for me to take at the time. So I'll still get to Macy's and Comac. Harrisburg is a 50-50. I don't know. That depends on how all this stuff goes by like before 4th of July, hopefully. So yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay. I mean, they really screwed us with this whole virus, and not just us, the rest of the nations. They also screwed that, and they lobbied to the WHO. So the WHO pretty much didn't want to see that. So yeah. There's only three. Yes, there is only three Sears and Roebuck stores left in New Jersey: Rockaway Town Square, Newport Center, and downtown Hackensack. Liquidating. Maybe. Who knows? I think it's either going to be one giant list or it's going to be two more much smaller lists. I mean, at this point, Sears is pretty much done. There's only three stores left in my state personally, and they're all within North Jersey. It's Rockaway, Jersey City, and Hackensack. I think they're very well looking to just liquidate all assets as a whole. And I think they're just waiting until after this virus passes. And I think they might just do two more rounds of closures. Yeah, the two Sears and Roebuck stores left on Long Island are Green Acres and Westfield Sunrise. Yeah, because Westfield South Shore closed in 2015, and actually, this past Sunday marks the 5-year anniversary of Sears closing at Westfield South Shore, and I'm one of my first times out on Long Island to film elevators. Hi, just curious, how are you? Yeah, I don't know about Eddie Lampard. I'm sure he's got some dumb ideas up his sleeve. He's just probably waiting for this whole thing with the coronavirus to pass by. Yeah, I haven't seen him anywhere. I think honestly, I think he disappeared because he doesn't want to bring attention to himself right now, especially with all these other companies going bankrupt. J.C. Penney is probably going to be closing another 200 stores. Neiman Marcus filed for bankruptcy, and they're looking into possibly merging with Saks Fifth Avenue, which honestly would make sense. Lord& Taylor's going under, and then you got Nordstrom's at Freehold. So just a whole bunch. I mean, last week was an awful week for department stores, and it's just very unfortunate, you know. And it's not just about the significance of these buildings and the architectures. It's about the people that are losing their jobs. It's about the people, you know, they built their foundation at this company. You know, they met a lot of colleagues and friends, and it's, you know, all these connections are now going away because people at the top, you know, when they see a certain location not making enough money to keep the company afloat, they're going to give them the boot, and then the employees get screwed. That's the managers of the building, the managers of each section of departments within the department stores, and you get all the workers too. So it's you know, it's every they get screwed, and then the people at the top win because they make more money by closing a store, you know, that people went enjoy going to for, you know, however long they work there. And, you know, I mean, again, this especially goes to specifically to Nordstrom's at Freehold, because these people built the foundation. They've been there since the very beginning in 1992, and now their whole career is wiped. So, and their choice is it's take a severance package or be transferred to Cherry Hill or Menlo Park. So it's that's their choice. Do they take a severance package, or do they take the package of being offered a position at the Nordstroms in Cherry Hill, the Nordstroms at Menlo Park, or even the Nordstroms rack near the Monmouth Mall? So they could definitely go one of three ways. It all depends on which choice they choose. Would Boscov's open up in Freehold? It is quite possible, but it depends on how that would work. I think it's a more ideal in the Lord& Taylor store. I just think the Nordstrom's and Freehold is just a little bit too big for a Boscov's. I think the Lord& Taylor, it's a big enough store for them to go into. And I think it would fill the gap of Lord& Taylor departing the mall. Yeah, Lord& Taylor is going to be a very sad departure, but we all know what happened with that. Hudson Bay sold them off, and then this San Francisco-based company screwed over an East Coast-based company, and that's why they're in the position they're in now. Unless there is and by some miracle, there is a last-minute buyer who is interested in pretty much buying the whole company. But I don't see that at this point. I think at this point they're just gonna take the cash and run with it. I mean, it's a rental clothing company, and I think they thought they saw something in Lord& Taylor, but clearly that wasn't to be the case, and they weren't able to do exactly what they were going to do because they literally got thrown off the tracks by the coronavirus, which is unfortunate because, you know, I think they wanted to really, you know, invest in trying to refix the infrastructure of the stores, but instead they got hit with the coronavirus, and then they were just like, okay, we effed up, and we have to just walk away from this department store. And now they're pretty much screwing everybody, including Scott in the chat. But hopefully Scott can find a job at Bloomingdale's at Roosevelt Field. So good luck, Scott, on that. Hey, bye, I love elevators. Thanks for joining the stream. There is this freaking spider in here. It's just fucking, oh my god, it is giant. Sorry guys, this is giant bug in here. That's really like just annoying me. It's so bad. Like it's really bad. I will be right back. Well, okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I had a bug in my room. Now he just went into the freaking ceiling fan. So yeah, again, guys, sorry about that. I had a bug in the room that I had to take care of. I'm gonna try and get the charger. Where's that charger? There we go. Credit run all these moles. That's okay. All right, it's my computer. Not that my computer's gonna die, but it would be nice to have a. Not nice, but it would be nice to plug in my computer, which I have not done yet today. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, in regards to all that, it's I don't know. Well, it's a wait and see game at this point, unfortunately. So I'm also waiting for a haircut too. That's another thing I'm waiting for. But yeah, I don't know what else is there to talk about. Is there going to? No, there's not going to be a new Boscov's department store in the former Nordstrom's. That's not happening. I think at the very least, Boscov's may go into Lord and Taylor, but I don't think they're going to go inside Nordstrom's. I don't think again I don't know exactly what they're going to do and what kind of move they're going to pull. So, but yeah, that's what I'm going over today. So, in regards to anything else that I wanted to go ahead and discuss again, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is the petition. So the petition for Nordstrom's at Freehold has received over 11,524 signatures, and there are people that are still signing it, but it is kind of slowing down a little bit. So hopefully they'll do something. At least so they have to do something, especially with the mounting support. At the very least, they reopen up the stores and reopen up the store and do a very small liquidation sale. That would be nice, honestly. Yeah, both are closing. One might be permanently closing, but I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 right now. But Lord and Taylor, yes, it's definitely closing. And honestly, no reason to save a Lord and Taylor store. I'm more concerned about Nordstrom's because like I said, at the Freehold Raceway Mall, Nordstrom's is a core anchor and it's a huge draw at that mall. J.C. Penney, it's not exactly a destination store. It's a very commonly placed store. So I'm gonna put my headphones in. And the reason for that is because, you can find a J.C. Penney at Monmouth Mall, J.C. Penney Brunswick Square, J.C. Penney Ocean County Mall. So I think it is more important rather to save a Nordstrom store, especially in that area. You got to remember too, a lot of the people that go to that Nordstrom store from that rich area of Monmouth County, the Red Bank area. So there is a reason to keep the store at the mall. It's just there has to be enough support in order to either A, keep it open fully and completely cancel the plans of closing the store that they were going to do, or they run a very small liquidation sale until the end of June or July. But again, it is going to depend the scenario of how to do it in a way where everybody's happy, where the company is happy, but also the employees and the customer. I think that's the most important thing. And I think if all that effort is put in, I think there's a very good chance for some wonderful output. But again, it is going to very much depend on how it is controlled. I don't know about Boscov's yet. Not at the Freehold Raceway Mall, but some locations are vintage. Like Ridgewood is a vintage one, Livingston is a vintage one, and Westfield is a vintage one. In fact, the Lord and Taylor store in Westfield is the only freestanding Lord and Taylor store within the state of New Jersey that is a freestanding one. There is no freestanding JCPenney in New Jersey. The only freestanding Sears and Roebuck stores in downtown Hackensack, New Jersey. What's another freestanding department store? Kohl's has a freestanding department store interestingly enough, in Linden, but that's not what this video is about. Uh, yeah, yeah. So American Dream is going to be more of an entertainment destination. There's going to be very little retail now, which honestly to me makes a lot of sense. I don't see the point, especially with this whole thing with the coronavirus. I think they're better off focusing on the entertainment. Although I will say that DreamWorks water park, man, I can't wait to go until I can't wait to go when all this is over, and hopefully I can go once the whole thing with coronavirus is over. Yeah, Lord and Taylor opened up in 1823. Actually, it's crazy. Sears actually outlived Lord and Taylor, which is amazing. I still can believe that was amazing. Yeah, they're going to be open. They're still going to be open. Yeah, JCPenney in East Brunswick would be a loss. JCPenney Quakerbridge would be a loss. What was another? Yeah, that's a pretty significant one. Monmouth would be a very bad one because that's a Montgomery global parallelogram elevator. That's a vintage one. Even though, yes, it has Kone buttons, the actual motor is still original. But yeah, if Freehold really does lose Lord and Taylor and Nordstrom's, the only anchor left at the malls is going to be Macy's and JCPenney. JCPenney at this point is pretty much on borrowed time, and I don't know about Macy's, honestly. And I would really hate to see more stores close there. I mean, that whole mall could very easily become a dead mall. But I think if there's enough effort to prevent it, I think there's a good chance that the mall can be saved. But it's going to really depend on a lot of factors. Now, what would be interesting too is if Bloomingdale's was looking to be where Nordstrom's and Freehold was. But again, the only problem with that is you got Bridgewater, and then you also have what's it called? What's the other Bloomingdale store? You got Bridgewater, and then you got Willow Grove. So the question does there need to be a store in between Bridgewater and Willow Grove? That it also comes down to that. They're gonna close stores. I think I don't know which ones they're gonna close yet, but I'm gonna put out a video once they do. Yeah, Willow Grove and King of Prussia. Those are the two Bloomingdale stores in Pennsylvania. I don't know. I think a lot of the stores just needed the money at that point. So yeah, that's what kind of happened with that. Hmm. So yeah. Yeah, that could very well happen, unfortunately. Yeah. I think they did it for money, honestly. I think Hudson Bay was that desperate for money, honestly. I think they did it as an attempt. I mean, they closed the location, the flagship Fifth Avenue location in New York City. So it was like, what was the point of trying to keep a company where you don't even have a flagship location and you just have, smaller stores? Really, no point to keep a company around if you don't have a big premier Fifth Avenue location. And Hudson Bay was more concerned about Saks Fifth Avenue rather than trying to pour money in Lord and Taylor. So I don't know. I think the whole thing was literally a disaster, and I think the coronavirus was just the final nail in the coffin for Lord and Taylor, unfortunately. No, definitely not. Because one, you got Cherry Hill Mall down the road, and you got a Nordstrom's and a Macy's and a J.C. Penney and a whole bunch of upscale restaurants. So no, I don't think it would be a good idea to open up a Bloomingdale's store at a mall where it already has a Nordstrom's down the road. Yeah, Bloomingdale's doesn't just randomly open up locations because they want to. Oh no, I think it was a dumb move. Very stupid decision to sell Lord and Taylor, and only because they wanted to make a couple extra bucks. But that's capitalism for you. Companies selling other companies to make a couple of extra bucks. The people at the top keep the money, and the people at the bottom get screwed. And that's the end of that, unfortunately. But that's just the way it works, unfortunately. People in the top get all big kinds of bonuses and let the company crash, while the people at the bottom, they're just a number on a piece of paper. And they're like, we're sorry, we're letting you go because the store isn't meeting expectations and it's not being very profitable for our company. So, it's kind of sad too. And Nordstrom's too. They wanted to be in New York City for years. So because it was a very not so profitable store, they screwed a store down in Freehold, which actually was an old and classic Nordstrom store, and now they're screwing those people out. But hopefully it can have some kind of farewell. They can't just it just doesn't, to my eyes and to my opinion, it just doesn't make sense to physically permanently close a store because of a global pandemic worldwide crisis. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know. There should really be a, you know, reason behind that. Yeah, that they are going to have a water coaster at the DreamWorks water park. I definitely want to go. Obviously, A, when there's a vaccine, and B, the chance that you won't get the coronavirus. So that's what I'm waiting for, to wait until there's a vaccine and then I'll end up going there. But I definitely will. I mean, it's maybe 10 minutes away from where I live. So I definitely want to go check that out. Yeah, Neiman Marcus too, another not so great company, but what can you do? You know. Fortunately, the little guy gets squashed by the big guy. That's kind of how it is, unfortunately. So, I know, very exciting. I'm very happy that they started testing candemonium. I hope I get to go this summer. I think, yeah, I think so too. And Nordstrom says Nordstrom's wreck, so I think they're going to survive. But it depends on what happens, I guess. I don't know, but I think they'll be okay. No, Macy's is too valuable. They won't go bankrupt anytime soon. They'll close stores, but that company is a little bit too valuable to close right now. Neiman Marcus, yeah, there's not a lot of people in there, but yeah, that's how I feel, at least. Yeah, I definitely want to go in the summer. Obviously, probably not in June. I mean, hopefully, if all goes well, um, maybe right after 4th of July, but I don't know. Maybe before, I don't know. but somewhere between late June and mid July. It depends on how they decide to reopen up the park and stuff. But I'm gonna watch it very closely, and I'll make a decision when it gets closer. But right now, I'm kind of focused on just getting my first session of summer classes and getting my stuff tomorrow at school, which I have to get up extremely early to do, because I have to be on the road at a certain time, and it's sad too. It's the whole process is going to be insane. It's I have to get there by 10, and it's literally going to be every other parking spot. They're going to give me a key card at the gatehouse, um, and it's going to be I go park every other spot, have to wear a mask and gloves the whole time I'm there, and I literally have about 90 minutes to pretty much get the stuff out of my room and leave, and turn right back around and go home. Yeah, yeah, 1,000. Nobody. I don't think anybody has $1,150 for a pair of sneakers. Not even me. The very minimum I pay for sneakers is $60, and that's to get a nice pair that lasts me an entire year. $60 per year for shoes. That's more than enough for me. I don't need anything special or out of this world. But yeah, that's the way that I feel about that. But yeah, I can finally go get the stuff. Yeah, I picked the slot for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And like I said, I'm probably going to end up leaving at around 9. It takes about an hour for me to get there. So I will go probably by then and go get my stuff and get out. That's pretty much going to be it. I'm just going to go get the stuff and get out. I mean, not really much else I can do. Yeah, I would not pay $1,150 for sneakers. For a nice jacket from Neiman Marcus, sure, but not for a pair of sneakers. I don't think anybody in their right mind, unless they are made of money, would go to Neiman Marcus for sneakers. At the very least, maybe Marshalls. Yeah, I actually did get my tuition refunded, believe it or not, but now it's going towards my summer classes. Nope, Bloomingdale's already has a store at the Shops at Riverside. They won't be doing that unless Bloomingdale's really does want to leave the Shops at Riverside. I don't think they will. There's really no reason for Bloomingdale's to go to Westfield Garden State Plaza. Westfield Garden State Plaza will only have Nordstrom's, Macy's, and Neiman Marcus after Lord and Taylor departs. But they could very well get a Saks Fifth Avenue. That could be in the cards in the near future. But again, I don't know. I did. I did get my tuition refunded completely. Actually, no, I think it was halfway. I don't know. I don't want to say the exact number for privacy reasons, but all that money I got back is going pretty much towards my summer classes that I have to take, unfortunately, because I didn't get a certain number of credits, so I have to take a couple of courses over the summer to make up for lost credits and stuff. So it's all good, I guess, at this point. Oh man. Okay. So, guys, I would keep this live stream going on for a little bit longer. However, I am exhausted. I actually took in a lot of sun today. I walked a lot and I'm pretty tired. Plus, I have to get up extremely early tomorrow because I have to go get my stuff from school before that. So, yeah, thanks, man. So, guys, yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I haven't read anything on that, but. Anyways, all right, guys. So at this point, I know I'm ending a little bit early today, but I am exhausted. My legs are killing me, and I have to get ready for tomorrow. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching. Sorry, coronavirus update number 18. Hopefully, we'll have more updates as the time becomes available. The Q&A live stream, believe it or not, is going to be Friday, although I will let you guys know. I'm going to double check with my friends, but I'll let you guys know. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this stream, and we will see you for Q&A on either Thursday or Friday. That's it.